Hey everybody, this is Mr. Wilson and I'm going to show you really quickly how to do the basics of editing in Final Cut Pro, which is the software editing program that we'll be using. So over in your dock, which will actually usually be on the bottom of your computer screen, on my laptop it's on the side. This right here is the icon for Final Cut Pro. So that's what you're going to click to open it. So I'll go ahead and open it. This is what the interface looks like for Final Cut Pro. There's going to be projects and events and video that I do not want you to look at or mess with, because if it's not yours, do not mess with it. You could accidentally delete something, mess with someone else's project. So I never want to catch you looking at other people's footage or projects. Don't do that. The first thing you're going to do within Final Cut Pro is you're going to go up to File and you're going to go New, and the first thing you're going to create is a new event. Now an event is where you put all of your media. We're going to keep the library as the untitled library, and we're going to call it something that will make sense to you, to me, to everyone in your group. We're going to call this a sample script because that's what we're working on. Sample script, and then we're always going to put the period number, period 8, the quarter number, QT1, and the group number. Now for this, the group was just a class. We went out and did this as a class, but if you were group 1, you'd put GP1 there. Okay, now I'm going to click OK. We don't need to change anything here. You're just going to use the default settings for everything. Click OK. And now over here, I'm going to see under Untitled over here, I'm going to have something that says Sample Script right here. So here's my sample script event. Okay, now it's kind of cut off because it was a very long title, but it says sample script and then it says class there. So this is my event that I created, and within that event you're going to import any footage that you want. So you're going to go here and then you're going to go File, Import Media, and you're going to get this interface for the media import. If you had a camera connected to it and you were importing directly from a camera, it would be up here and you'd click on that and import from your camera using your timecode. Now unfortunately we don't have more than 3 cameras that import, and some of them don't always import correctly. So if you can, that's going to be the easiest way to do it, import directly from the camera. But if you can't, another thing you can do is just import the files, the video files, from something else, and that's what I've done actually. I have the video files on my computer. That's where my clips are, here in SS Clips. I'm going to double click on that folder, and actually it's all that one clip. Usually it'll be more than one clip, but it's all in one clip. So I'm going to import that. Add to which event? Sample script. That's the event that we created. That's good. Again, we're not going to change any of this stuff. Going to leave it the same. We're going to add it to the event that we just created. There. Now we have this clip, and that's the clip that we shot all together as a class. Now once I have my event there, I'm going to go up to New and create a new project. My project is going to be called the same thing. We're just going to keep it easy. And now down here is where we have our project. There is the name, sample script, period 8, quarter 1 class, and this is where we build our production. This is where we put our video. And up here is where all of our media would be. Now we are still within our project here, the sample script project. We could go to other events if we wanted to use media from any of these other events, but of course we're not going to want to 99% of the time. So usually you're just going to be in your event, and that's all the media that you have. Usually it's more than just one clip. There's usually a lot of different clips and sometimes music and still images, but for this it's just that one clip because I imported it as a whole, the one clip. So the basics: JKL. Hit L once and it will play your video forward. Hit it twice and it will double speed. Hit it 3 times and it will triple speed. Hit J and it will go backwards. Hit K and it will stop. J backwards, J again, double speed backwards. K, stop. Okay, I want you to resist the urge of playing everything backwards because it sounds funny. I know it does, but I really want you to be focusing on getting your stuff done. You play a little bit backwards, it is funny, but I don't want you to sit and play everything backwards that a lot of students do. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to play fast forward until I find the last take of this waist shot. Okay, so that was the last take. So now I'm going to go backwards fairly fast. Okay, so here's the beginning. I'm going to press L to play.
Tape rolling. Action.
Now I hit K to stop. Now I'm going to set my in point and out points. So that's another shortcut key you're going to need to remember. J, K, L are to play, J backwards, K to stop, L is forward. Now I'm going to press I to set my in point. And we'll notice over here that yellow line changed. This is your selection line. So now I'm going to press L to play.
Hey, you're in my communications class, aren't you? Yeah, I'm going there right now.
And right there I hit K to stop, and I'm going to hit O to set my out point. I is in point, O is out point. Now within here you can see this selection is very teeny, but I can go here and zoom into my clips up in my event browser like this. Now that selection is a little bit larger. So now I can click on this and I get this hand icon that makes it so that I know that it's going to come with me. I click and hold and drag, and just that part of the clip is going to be placed in my project, which I build down here. Okay, so now that first clip is going to be in my project.
Hey, you're in my communications class, aren't you? Yeah, I'm going there right now.
So now I'm going to go to the medium close-up of Adam as he says, "Have you heard about Mr. Wilson?" And I'm going to scroll down here because again I'm probably going to want to use the last take.
Oh no, that's the late.
So okay, so I'm going to play.
Hey, you're in my communications class, aren't you? Yeah, I'm going there right now.
Okay, now I'm going to go forward just a couple frames, and I'm going to do that by holding the K key down and going L, L, L. That's going to take me one frame at a time forward. If we look down here, this is my time code of my clip. We're 4 minutes, 5 seconds, and 8 frames into this clip. So if I hit K, if I hold down K and hit L, it'll take me one frame further, so it'll say 4:05:09. But again, one frame at a time by hitting the L button with the K button held down. I don't want to go this far though, because I don't want Adam's mouth to be open. So I'm actually going to start hitting J until I see that his mouth is closed. Now there are 30 frames of video to 1 second. 30 frames, so that's a really small little minute difference, one frame of video, 1/30th of a second, but it's oftentimes the difference between a good cut and a bad cut, good continuity and bad continuity, one frame difference. So I'm going to see if the endpoint here would be look and sound good. So I'm going to again hit I to set my endpoint, and we'll see over here that selection box is again popped up. Now I'm going to hit play until I just capture that one line of Adams.
Have you heard about Mr. Wilson?
Okay, now I don't know if you noticed, but if I hit N right here, I've started to hear check say no. We just said and I don't want that. So I'm going to go back one frame, hold K down and hit J. Another way you could do it is by using the arrow keys also. Same thing, but I'm going to be using the J and K. So I think this will be good. I'm going to set my out point here. So again, I put my cursor over that. I get the hand, I click, I hold, I drag down and put it onto my timeline. Now I'm always going to want to review any edits that I've made. So we're going to look at how this edit looks.
Are you? Yeah, I'm going there right now. Have you heard about Mr. Wilson?
Okay, that looks okay, but I'm going to play that again because I think we've got a little bit of an audio problem.
Yeah, I'm going there right now. Have you heard about Mr. Wilson?
Okay, when we cut to the clip of Adam, we can hear the echo of check saying now from the previous line.
Yeah, I'm going there right now.
Can you hear that? It's very slight. But I'm going to show you how to get rid of that. So we're going to go zoom in, and here's the zoom in for the project. This is the zoom in for the events library. Down here is the zoom in for your project. So I'm going to zoom in. We're going to get real close. I'm going to put, this was what's called my playhead, right at that edit point. This icon here indicates that it is the first clip of the next shot, and if I go back one frame, that icon is over on this side, and that indicates that it's the last frame of the previous shot. So again, one frame forward, this is the first frame of the next shot, and that icon is there. That shows you that you're at the actual edit point. So I'm going to zoom in, and I'm just going to see if I can take off one frame from this. And like I said, one frame will sometimes be the difference between a good cut and a bad cut. So when I put my cursor down here, you'll see that I have this different icon. If it's not there, it's the arrow, but if it's here, I get this icon. Now you see a film strip to the right. It could also be a film strip to the left. We want it to the right because that's the clip that I'm going to want to trim. So I'm going to click, I'm going to hold it, and I'm going to move it to the right, and I just want to take off one frame. So there, one frame. I can see that right there it says 1. So I've taken off one frame. I'm going to see if that gets rid of that echo.
Hey, you're in my communications class, aren't you? Yeah, I'm going there right now. Have you heard about Mr. Wilson?
So that one frame took care of that echo. So now I'm ready to get my next shot, which is going to be of check saying, no, what are you talking about? And again, I'm going to go to the last frame, last take of check. Here's another shortcut you can use. The S key turns on skimming. And skimming means that wherever my cursor goes, it will skim through my clip. So I know that that's the last take of check. Now some people like to do skimming really quick. I'm turning mine off. I'm going to hit the S key again. I don't really like skimming. So I'm going to play it from here.
I'm going there right now. Have you heard about Mr. Wilson? No.
Okay, so I want to go backwards a little bit because I need to get that line, no, what are you talking about?
1.
Okay, right there. But I've heard Adam, so I need to get it right to the point where I don't hear Adam. Check hasn't started talking. Okay, it's kind of hard because as soon as Adam stops talking, Check starts to talk. So I'm going to go back, and I can hear him. So also I can see down here, this is my audio indicator, and if I go back one, I see that little indicator come up. That means there's some sort of sound. That's Adam's voice, and now that's Check's voice. So right here, there's nothing being said. So I'm thinking that right here is the frame that I want. So I'm going to hit the what key? I, to set my in point, and then I'm going to play it from there.
No, what about him?
Okay, set my out point, and now I can hit the question mark or backslash key to just play that clip.
No, what about him? No, what about him? No, what about him?
To just play my selection, I hit the question mark. That looks good. I don't hear Adam, and I do hear everything that Check says, so I'm going to again click on that selection, hold, drag it down, and drop it there. Now we're really zoomed in, so I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Okay, that looks a little bit better. Now we're going to watch the sequence so far.
I'm there right now. Have you heard about Mr. Wilson? No, what about him?
Okay, so that's the basics of editing. We go up to our clips, we find the point we want, we play by hitting J. We can go backwards with J, stop with K. We go frame by frame by holding K down and going L, L, L. We can also go slow motion by holding K down and then holding L down.
Right now. Have you heard about Mr. Wilson?
Okay, so that's slow motion. Same thing backwards, hold K down, hold J down. And again, I know that's funny, but please resist the urge to do that non-stop, because what I want you to do is get down to business and edit your material. Okay, so that's the basics on how to edit. Hopefully that you should be just able to put your clips together with that knowledge, and then we'll also tell you how to add music, add titles, credits, and then some other fancier stuff we can do with editing later on.